Now we're focusing on something that takes a toll not just on the mind, but the body as well, and that is anxiety.
All right, let's check in with Dr. Laura Saunders for some ways we can nip anxiety in the bud when it starts to hit. Good morning, Dr. Saunders. How are you?
Hello, friends, and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, or Friday Eve.
It's Friday Eve, as Nicole likes to say.
Glass is half full, right, Doc?
Now that is positive thinking.
You know, it timed out perfectly yesterday because I had my psychiatrist appointment and I was anxious. Well, sometimes I go in and I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? But I was completely anxious and it worked out perfectly. So I want to thank everybody out there for listening to me.
And you have a technique that is helpful, right?
Yes. So, you know, when you look on social media all the time, you see lots of life hacks, right? So what are life hacks? Life hacks. Life hacks are those little shortcuts, those clever little ways that you can figure out something that you do typically in your life and figure out a better way to do it. So this is a little life hack on how to deal with anxiety in a situation where you just need your anxiety level to come down if you're not in front of your psychiatrist or your psychologist, but you need your anxiety level to come down and you need a strategy to do that. So the strategy is called MEWS, M-E-W-S.
Okay.
And what does that stand for?
Okay, so there's 4 parts to MEWS. The first is movement. I say all the time, move a muscle, change a mood. So it's just movement. It's get up from what you're doing, walk around, step outside, step back inside, move a little bit, because moving burns the energy that's created by anxiety, because anxiety actually creates energy and other things in the body. So the M is for movement and MEWS. The E is externalize. Pick a point outside of yourself. It could be looking at a wall. It could be looking at an item. It could be looking at something else in the room. It could be looking outside. And pick a point and externalize and focus your energy and your attention on something outside of yourself.
All right.
W is for welcome.
Oh.
Okay? Welcome. We are welcome the anxiety into our life.
Really?
It is our friend. We need to make it our friend. We need to understand it. We need to accept it. We need to label it. We need to identify it. What is it today? It's, you know, could be the weather. It could be a big project due. It could be something. Understand it, accept it, label it, welcome it into your life.
And, you know, everyone has anxiety or some level of it, right?
Yes, everyone does. It's anxiety is actually helpful for a lot of people. It just, when it gets to the point where it becomes debilitating or hinders your functioning or makes it so that you are very physically uncomfortable, it's hard. Right. And the S in MEWS is square breathing. What it does is it slows down your breathing so that it slows down your heart rate, it slows down your respirations, and square breathing is counts of 4. Think of it like a box. Breathe in for the count of 4, hold for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. It slows your breathing down and sends needed oxygen to your brain so that you can think more clearly and problem solve.
Well, excellent.
These are great tips.
And just real quick, do they have to be done in that specific order?
Well, it's a good acronym to remember that, MEWS. So movement, externalize, welcome, and square breathing. Another quick trick is to use, to stimulate the vagus nerve in the back of your throat, which is by humming or you know, making a big ah, or doing something that stimulates that vagus nerve, because that vagus nerve is part of the parasympathetic system, which is your rest and digest, which is the opposite of your fight, flight, and freeze. So that also helps calm you down.
In yoga, that's it's almost like kind of emulating like waves crashing in the back of your throat. Is that the same thing we're talking about?
Yeah. Yes, okay. I've heard it called Ujjayi breathing in yoga, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. It's stimulating that vagus nerve so that you can engage that parasympathetic nervous system. And fun fact, the vagus nerve is what causes brain freeze when you drink something too quickly that's cold or eat ice cream. So what you do when you have brain freeze is you put your tongue to the top of your palate, and that warms the vagus nerve, and it decreases your brain freeze.
Well,
so fun little fact for the day.
Thank you, Dr. Laura Saunders. We appreciate all of your wonderful advice today and for the helpful hint.
Thank you for the news on Muse.
Always here to help.
All right, we'll see you soon.